Today, Precarious plays Transistor.
You know what? Only losing one is great compared to the 3 I lost before.
Yeah.
The tail was much easier to detect while I was giving the game my undivided attention. But I don't know, it still wasn't... I didn't like how its HP was protected, just to give it an opportunity to freak out and throw cells everywhere. It's worth mentioning that a little bit of that was self-inflicted. Whenever I put the modifiers, like the combat difficulty modifiers on, I just sort of like forget that they're not a part of the base game.
Okay, I need a minute to absorb how horrifying it is that we just went in there. It's very pretty in here, though.
Oof.
Oh my god. Okay, but we're back. We're back now. That's...
Feeling better, buddy?
Thanks. For whatever you did back there.
Ew. Climbed bodily into the carapace of a only too recently deceased... No, not deceased, decapitated weird worm gun snake creature and then poked its heart with the sword. That was disgusting. Although it had very pretty insides.
Damage over time, or... maybe some sort of lift effect? Destructive, kinetic, corrosive, slowing. I'm not sure if striking targets upward with a tremendous force keeps them there for a bit.
Mm-hmm. That could be helpful.
Or if it's if it's just like they pop up, take damage, and then maybe have a second where they have to recover. So what do you think? Cull or purge?
Probably cull, just because I want to see if it does hang time. You know? Like, we're eventually gonna get most of these, right?
Yeah. Now in another passive slot.
So back to the story for a second.
Hate both of these.
The Transistor, your friend, your talking sword bud, who has all of these things loaded into it. All of the things...
Among other things.
Oh, right.
Yikes. I guess I missed the good part.
No, it was not good. It was not the good part. The implication is that that weapon was in the hands of the Camerata before.
Right.
It was used to kill a friend of yours that foiled the plot to kill Red.
Right.
The only reason Red ended up with it was because her friend was there and she
That's the hammer's quarter filter. What they want
scared them away?
No. So
Like, why was the sword left in the body?
what happened is that the Transistor was supposed to... It seems like the Transistor is supposed to deconstruct someone and trace whatever makes them... like whatever is core to their personality.
Yeah.
This individual, the strapping gentleman that was bodyguarding dating question mark? Red
Yeah.
got impaled, and then somehow ownership of the transistor was transferred to Red, and they were mysteriously teleported across town. That's the reason why they got away. And I don't know. The game has not yet revealed what force teleported them. Was it Red? Was it
Subject not found.
Was it subject not found? Was it maybe one of the functions in Transistor that has not yet revealed itself?
Remind me what breach lets you do?
Breach is the long-range penetrating attack.
Okay, no, never mind.
What else could it be? It could be somebody, it could be like a mole in the Camerata that knew about the plan.
It's just interesting because every time we get all of the pieces of a profile from someone that was slain by the Camerata, it says why it was attractive to them. So they've been running around collecting people into the Transistor to do something. And I feel like the something probably shouldn't be destroy the world and have weird giant snakes with arrow tails show up, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, they must be trying to do something interesting or good, because the type of people that they're pulling in are interesting, good people, but it's just going horribly wrong. I mean, like, manipulative, probably. I mean, certainly. Potentially power grabby, yes. But it seems like they're reaching out for interesting... for the types of characteristics that I consider associated with making life interesting and daring and artistic and, you know, worth living, etc. It has me very curious. Why do you think that they were collecting souls, so to speak? Just for power, or...?
It seems organizational. It seems like they were either trying to keep from being found out. Oof, okay. That's probably worthwhile. It seems like they were either trying to avoid being found out, which seems to be the case with, like, these two.
Yeah.
The comedy man and the police.
Yeah.
But then some of them, like Red herself, Niola.
Yeah.
It seems like they were trying to... You want me to guess right now? I'm going to try to guess the whole rest of the Camerata's plot right now.
Mm-hmm.
I think that they were trying to construct an ideal utopia. Like, the reason why I am not yet convinced that this is a virtual reality and is instead a very sophisticated augmented reality, I think that maybe that's the Camerata's plan. I think that maybe they were trying to find the right group of people to seed a true VR environment. If this is, it could just be a new layer, you know? Maybe this is already virtual and they're just trying to build a better one.
Yeah, like a new island somewhere.
Right. And I think that maybe they were trying to find the right group of people to do that. Now.
So thinking back to the boss that you just fought, when we took a break at the end of the last episode, you went through to beat it again despite having defeated it, to see how the fight was. And you kind of briefly went over the fact that it wasn't great, but is there anything you want to elaborate about that? It's like, what was the worst part about it? And what was the
worst part of that fight is that I'm tired. And honestly, I've tried to play this game a couple of times, and I can't remember the tripping point.
Yeah.
And I'm sort of like looking for a target.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that was fine. I mean, the truth of the matter is, like, I did it once while trying to record a show for the internet.
Mm-hmm.
And I lost 3 out of 4 of my functions, which wasn't great.
Yeah.
I tried it a second time without that distraction, and I only lost 1. And that happened. I mean, I don't know. The big problem is that, like, the point where I lost, it happened very abruptly. I was standing right here, and I got mashed into this dark little corner by rapid fire.
Mm-hmm.
And it's because my mask and my turn were both on cooldown, right? So it's hard to say.
Do you think that there might be too much going on?
I don't know. I think that it sort of feels a little bit like a mismatch of mechanics. It feels like a boss from a different game.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because it had a lot of really rapid, very broad attacks, and I mean, at least with the way that I'm playing, it might have just been a insufficient planning on my part. I'm really mentally worn out right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought that I was going in well equipped to fight a boss. Maybe what I should have done instead, like with the benefit of hindsight, maybe like, hold on, let me check Jaunt. No, I need to check Spark. Spark plus Jaunt. Spark will be usable during turn recovery. Maybe the solution was Spark plus Jaunt, so I could quickly get rid of all of the bad cells.
Yeah.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
And then just have a Y button attack to clean up with. Maybe I don't know. I mean, I'm not sure. You know what? I think the problem was I probably should have just swallowed my pride and turned off some of the limiters.
Mm.
Because the bonus does not actually seem to be that significant.
Yeah.
Honestly, what I'm probably going to do is once I've got that 4th one, functionally they're acting as a reminder for me.
Mm-hmm.
Once I've got that 4th one, I think I picked the wrong one here.
Mm-hmm.
Once I have it, I'll get it, well, read the entire row, and then I'll just turn them off for the rest of the game to keep things moving smoothly.
Okay.
And then we'll do that with the second row and then the third.
Know where we are? We're here.
Yeah, man, of course we are. That's the whole point, was to go from there to here. Duh.
The concourse.
You know,
What?
I'm sorry. Every time... Did you ever watch Dora the Explorer?
Yeah, with my little brother and sister.
Okay, yeah, I had a little cousin who's
They're letting us
probably their age.
She watched it with me the entire time.
Yeah. No. I just think that this is gonna sound like mean, but every quest is just a Dora the Explorer, travel situation.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I really use that to construct things, like when I would GM Mouse Guard, for example. Mouse Guard is a 3-parter situation. You have to have
Rainstorm?
yeah,
Giant fox?
treasure,
Trade dispute.
Yeah.
It's you have to have a mouse-centric problem.
yeah. So it's a really good way to design encounters, and every time there's and we're going from here to there, and as soon as there's more than one point, I start to look for the third point, and it always exists. And I dorify many things that I come across in video games and life, for that matter, just because I ended up watching so very much of it.
All of this feels unfamiliar to me, so we might have found the point where I stopped. It might have been that boss.
Oh gosh, okay.
I know that I've beaten it before, but that's the kind of thing I can totally see that, where like it's a very me thing to do. Sit there and very like be very grumbly and beat it, and then say like, I'll pick this up later, and then I don't come back to it. You know?
Yeah.
We're in a show now. No, I don't have any choice.
You're using the pressure of this show that was invented for me.
On myself.
Yeah.
Oh no.